Hey everyone, welcome back. It's time for our next filming locations video. We haven't done one of these for a little while, so I'm excited to go through the 17th episode of Knight Rider, Chariot of Gold. There are some really great locations in this episode, including one that we've seen already, even though we're only 3/4 of the way through the first season. We're going to revisit a location that we have seen already before. So, not much else more to say. Let's get going. Filming locations for Chariot of Gold. Alright, so we are going to begin at the beginning. The very first scene we see in this episode is Kit driving down this desert road. So, actual filming location for this particular scene is 13110 East Fort Tejon Road in Pear Blossom, California. So if you notice, single lane highway, and up here in the distance we see that the road veers to the left, but then there's a sharp right turn, a road here that kind of goes around and meanders around the brush, and then you can see the mountains in the background. So here is what that looks like today. So there's that same intersection, there's the mountains in the background, going off to the left, veering to the right, and it looks... see here, let's just shrink this for a second so we can take a look at both side by side. Yeah, so there you go. You can see the profile of the mountains exactly the same. So there's our first location. And to add to that a little bit, you see this shot, there's Kit right there going over this little bridge. This is that same location, just from a slightly different angle. There's that turn-off road right there. And if we look at it today, here's that bridge right there. So there's the turn-off road. So the cameramen were up here in the hills somewhere to film this. Very neat. Alright, so the credits continue. We see Kit turn off here, off the main road onto this dirt road. And you can see as soon as he turns off, he heads down this road, but then there's another sharp right turn right here. And as we advance, it pulls out a little bit, and you see there's a camper there, a little house, and a little another building, almost like a barn right there. Now, I don't know exactly where this location is. It doesn't appear to be in the immediate area of that opening scene, but I would hazard a guess that it's in the same general location. I think they filmed all of this second unit probably around the same time and same location. We're early enough in the series that that they probably filmed all this together, would be my guess. So see if you guys can find this particular location. There's one more shot of it. Maybe those mountains in the background will help, but I do think it's probably around that Fort Tejon area in Pear Blossom, California. Alright, so now we get to Dr. Litton's dig site. And there's a number of shots here that you can see. We'll just kind of scroll through them here. Lots of mountains in the background, some greenery. Archaeological site number 32. You see this whole scene. So now obviously there's not a ton to go by, but we actually have a little bit of help in this department. One of the shooting maps right here. So according to this shooting map, This was filmed at the Valuze Ranch. Valuzes were well known for working on the Dukes of Hazzard, building some of the General Lees. They also provided some vehicles and equipment to Knight Rider, and at least as of Chariot of Gold, provided a filming location. So there's obviously no address for the ranch, but we see a map here. So why don't we just see if we can find the entrance to the ranch based on this map. So it looks like they go up Freeway 14, Antelope Valley, to San Fernando Road, to Bouquet Canyon Road, Centurion, Caraway Grove Park, Haskell Canyon Road looks like the road, and it's marked as a dirt road here. So with all that being said, let's go over here and let's just look up maybe that Bouquet Canyon Road. Canyon Road, Santa Clarita has got to be it. Now, this looks like this could be the right direction. So let's go down to Bouquet and see if we can find some of these other streets. Maybe if we look up Bouquet Canyon Road and Centurion Way, that's what we want. Ooh, this looks like this has all been developed. Centurion Way. There's that Bouquet Canyon Road. Maybe we should look for Haskell Canyon Road, because this just keeps on going and going. Or maybe it's up here. Vasquez Canyon. Centurion. I'll look here for a second. Oh, it does go up into... Oh my gosh, that's definitely a canyon road, all right. Bouquet Canyon just keeps going and going. All right, I don't think this is probably where we're looking. Let's find Haskell Canyon Road. Haskell Canyon Road, Santa Clarita. Yeah. Oh, here we go. So look. Here's that Bouquet Canyon Road. Oh, we were right by it. And I completely passed and went this way, and Haskell Canyon Road. So what it's saying is, yeah, there's Centurion Way. Here, let me bring this map back over so you guys can see. We'll shrink this. Yes, you can see here it's saying, whoops, Bouquet Canyon Road right here, Centurion Way, and then it's saying Caraway to Grove Park to Haskell Canyon Road, but this has obviously all been redeveloped. So Haskell Canyon Road, and it just says this is a dirt road that leads to the Valuze Ranch, where in reality it leads to a housing development now. So all of these people have no idea that their houses are built on archaeological dig site number 32. But it appears that's the case. All right, let's move on. All right, here's another one I'd like to find. And I think this is the same location as the opening of Slam and Sammy's Stunt Show Spectacular. Let me just look here. Oh, no, never mind. I think that's different. That's a different location. So I don't know where this stretch of road is, and I just don't. Maybe someone out there will recognize the landscape, the rock pattern in the background, but I don't know where this one's at. Alright, so then we see Michael in the hospital, and we see this establishing shot. This is actually the Sheraton Universal right here, right at Universal Studios. This building has been used a couple times in the show, I think only for establishing shots. I don't think they ever filmed here, but we saw it in the Topaz Connection, and I think Whitebird we saw it as establishing shots. But this hotel here, or not hotel, hospital, 99% sure this is actually a set. The studio, I believe, had a standing hospital set back in the day. In fact, if I can find it, blueprints. Yeah, so I don't have a good scan of them, but I'll show you anyways. I still have to stitch it together, but for Race for Life, the hospital that was featured in Race for Life was a standing set at the studio, and I don't know if I have. I don't have it handy, unfortunately, with the stage number. But in the bottom corner of this, it says what stage the hospital set was located in. So, oh, maybe I do have it. Stage 25. There we go. So you can see right here, Race for Life, interior hospital room, corridor, waiting room, stage 25, standing set. So my guess is that this is probably, I mean, maybe this is the same standing set. You know, it'd be interesting to do an analysis of all the hospital scenes in Knight Rider and see if they all look the same or have the same general layout. Maybe I'll, do that when I have spare time. Maybe not. All right, so then we see this establishing shot of Helios, the Helios Society. And we'll get to the filming location for Helios, but whenever I first saw this establishing shot, I thought, boy, that does not look like the location where they actually filmed. And this kind of does look like an establishing shot or a stock footage of something else. So I was trying to figure out where this was, and I ran this through Google Lens, this screenshot, and it came up with an exact match for the Serra Retreat, Serra, in Malibu. And in fact, here you go. So I threw the screenshot in Google Lens, and look at this first result. I don't know if you can see this. Exact match. Malibu, California, Serra Catholic Retreat. So turns out that establishing shot was not the place where they actually filmed Helios. So where did they film Helios? Well, right here at the Sisters of the Immaculate Heart, Waverly Drive, 3431 Waverly Drive in Beverly Hills. I think it's Beverly Hills, or maybe it's just Los Angeles. But anyways, here it is. So this is the main Helios estate right here. There's no street view, I don't think. No. The only thing you can see is the gate. Now, this gate might look familiar to you because it was this house was used in Night Sting. And we see, in Night Sting, we see RC3 coming up in his Mercedes and talking to Simon Karaskis here. And then we also see this place in Night of the Rising Sun, Tanika's complex here, and we see the gate at that point as well. But yeah, if you watch, there's a whole scene where Devin and Bonnie are in the Mercedes, and you see them drive all the way up this road, all the way around here, and make it. They come up through here, go across here, and park right here in front of the estate. Pop star Katy Perry years ago was looking to try and buy this estate, but that fell through. All right, here's another unidentified location. This might be the same as that stretch of road, or on that same stretch of road from a little bit ago, but I always like this scene with the music, and you see Kit coming off from the distance, and then you get this view. It looks a little bit better. You can see some of the mountains in the background. So if any of you guys want to go exploring here and try and figure out where this is at, let's see if we can find it. And then this scene. So this is stock footage that was reused multiple times throughout the series. I'd love to find out where this particular scene was filmed. And then here Michael is back at the dig site. I'm assuming this is back at the Valuze Ranch. You see this rock crop up here, and then you see a house up here. But again, if this whole area was redeveloped as it looks like it was, I don't think we're going to have much luck in finding it. Unless you look at vintage aerial maps, hint hint. Alright, so then we see another establishing shot of Helios at night, and once again, this is not that 3431 Waverly Place. This is actually an establishing shot that they used back in Inside Out earlier in the season. This is the King Gillette Ranch, but apparently no one would notice that it's not the same place, except me. Then you have Michael. This is actually after he rescues Bonnie, comes up this dirt road, crashes through this gate here. Again, unknown location. Probably the ranch still, but this is probably going to be pretty difficult to find given the fact that the shot is so tight you really can't see much in the background, except there's a electrical tower right there. All right, so then we see, so this is the shot. This is supposed to be at Helios, probably around back, and this is where Michael gets knocked out. If you look over here, you can see some buildings over here. You can't really see a lot. And then I'm going to skip ahead 2 slides here, and we see this scene. Because of the lack of street view, I don't know for sure if this was actually filmed at Helios, at that 3431 Waverly Place in Los Angeles, or somewhere else. Probably filmed there, I'm guessing, these 2 scenes. But maybe you eagle-eye viewers out there can take a look at some of these buildings, see if you can match this up based on where that Helios is. All right. Dig site here. Again, I think this is that Valuze Ranch. Actually, I know it is based on the shooting map we have, and this is that same location. In fact, if you look in the far distance, you can see that tent that we saw back at the beginning of the episode. Was it here? Yeah, you can kind of see it off to the side. Where was it? Yeah, right there. There's the tent right there. So actually, or there's a tent right here too. So that... yeah, that dig site that's the road where the start of the episode took place, and then this dig site is over here off to the side. All right, so Michael is trying to hitchhike his way back. Charlene Hanover passes Michael and then comes back. So we see this curved road. According to my records, this is on that Bouquet Canyon Road, the same one we were talking about earlier, 29527. So it looks like it was right in this area. Let's see if this looks like a match. Oh yes, right here. This is exactly where it took place. So here, let's back up. Let's go down this road just a hair. Yeah, this is definitely it. Yeah, you can match up the mountains in the background. The curved road right there. So Charlene pulls over. Yeah, and there's the telephone poles. So Charlene pulls over right in this area, and that's where they have their talk, and Michael gets in her car. All right, then we're back to what we think is Helios. And see, when we look at this, can we match this up? So it looks like, I mean, that estate does kind of is up in the hills a little bit. We see these bushes here, some trees, and a parking lot. So if we look at, see, it's so hard to tell It almost looks like it would be this area back here, if anything. Or maybe right here, honestly. I wonder if there's any street view. Let's just try and get a perspective down here. Can we? No, it's all... That's not going to work. Yeah, don't know for sure, but my gut tells me that this was filmed at Helios. All right, moving towards the end of the episode, we've got the museum, the county museum. So we see the truck pulling in here, and if you notice this unique looking building in the background with this angled wall, here it is, still around today. So when we come around here, we see this unique looking building, and Kit parks over here to the left. This is right here, 20525 Nordhoff Street, Chatsworth, California. Now, whenever I said we had seen a filming location before, it's this building. What you might not realize is, let me bring it up here, whenever we, and this took me a while to find, but we saw this building from the side right here. This is the side of that museum. I know it's giant, right? This is from The Final Verdict. This was Farland Industries in Farland Enterprises from The Final Verdict. So, and then we just go up here, and this right here, Michael was parked right here, waiting for Marty Keene to come out of the building. So it's funny how you know, they can use a location from a different angle and you don't even realize it's the same location. So there you go. And I apologize, I actually do have this location in my notes. I missed it whenever I was going through it earlier, and you know, instead of going back and editing this video, we're just going to go with the flow here. So this is actually on 145th Street East, Lake Los Angeles, California. So it's this street in the middle of nowhere. So if we go down to here, and there's that dip. I know it looks totally different because of the way they were filming this, but there's that dip, and then the mountains in the background are these mountains back here. 145th Street East, Lake Los Angeles. All right. Moving on. We have the chase scene at the climax of the episode. Graham Dovell being chased by Kit. We see the truck veering around the corner, and it's all kind of a blur. We see it past this building here, and then the camera pans, and we have Kit bringing chase to Graham there, and then coming around the corner. Oops, coming around the corner like that. So this area has changed quite a bit, actually. But really, this is the scene that kind of gives it away a little bit. You can see Santa Clara Street. It's partially obscured by that tree, but this is Santa Clara Street. And you see it's not a through street, and then there's this big hill in the background. So this is Santa Clara Street, and I'm pretty sure, like I said, a lot of this has changed, but I'm pretty sure this is that intersection. There's that hill in the background. This is Santa Clara going across this way. So I think the truck came around here and turned this way, and then Kit followed. So then we see this shot here, and you can see these are the car carriers that hauled the Knight Rider cars to set right here. And if you, so you see the truck is headed towards the camera, the car carriers are faced away from the camera. And then a split second later, look at this. Now the truck's heading the other way, and the car carrier is still parked right there. This building in the background gives it away, 26951 in giant letters. And this intersection we just showed you, look at this. Come around here. 26951 in giant letters. So this is Ruther Avenue, R-U-E-T-H-E-R 26951 Ruther Avenue in Santa Clarita. So that car carrier would have been parked like right here, right along here. All right, and now we're at the part where Michael's still chasing, and we see Kit doing a nice ski mode right here. So you see the brick wall right here, and then you get that shot, a couple other angles here, Kit driving through, lands. Take a look. Oh, here, let's do one location at a time. So this whole sequence was right here. There's that red brick wall. This is also on Soledad Street, 20777 roughly, Soledad Street. So Kit skis down this way, okay, and then the truck keeps going this way, and Kit, I think, turns this way, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, Kit turns this way onto Oak Avenue while the truck keeps going straight. All right, but then all of a sudden you see a mysterious ramp there, and Kit does this turbo boost and lands right here, and then the climax happens. So that ski mode was right here, right back here. So it's all in that same location. So that turbo boost, whoops, was right here where Golden State Storage now is. In fact, these buildings right here, these brick buildings with there's the 4 windows, there it is right there. So the turbo boost, the whole climax took place right here on this corner. The corner of Oak Avenue and Soledad Street in Santa Clarita. Unfortunately, it is now developed. I mean, not unfortunately it's developed, but it's all developed now. Okay, we're done. That's Chariot of Gold. So you guys have an assignment. There's a few locations that we've yet to find in this episode. See if you guys can figure them out. Put it down in the comments below. I'd love to be able to check the box that we found all the filming locations for this episode. All right, so we are rapidly finishing up season 1. We only have a few more episodes. So the next time we do filming locations, it's going to be Whitebird. So looking forward to that. Hope you guys enjoyed this, and we'll talk to you real soon.
Hello friends, it's me, Kit. When I'm not out fighting crime, I like to follow my friends at knightriderhistorians.com. Check it out.